everybody, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to this video featuring several Tarte Holiday 2019 products. I wanted to do the same thing that I did for you with the Too Faced holiday stuff. I wanted to do a demo, just kind of take you through some mini reviews, and that way if you're on the fence for any of these products, you know if it's going to work for you without going in, taking the plunge, and then finding out that you absolutely hate it. So there's a lot to go through in this video, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it so that we can go through all of these fun details. Alright you guys, so I'm just going to real quick, I'm not going to even take you into the actual description on the Sephora website. I'm literally going to give you prices, give you details on each, and then we'll jump into the demo. So first off, let's start with the, what is this called? The 9 Ways to Shine Cheek Wardrobe. It is a set of 3 stacks. They did this instead of the face palette this year, which I very much appreciate. It is $35 and it comes with 9 pans of products. So 3 highlighters, 1 in each, and then 6 blushes to do my math there for a second. It's in a gold, rose gold, and gunmetal shade, and each set kind of is reminiscent of that particular, packaging, I guess. Obviously, the gunmetal, I mean, it's the deepest of the 3. It's not going to be any kind of black shades or anything like that. So that is the face set. Then we've got the Sephora Palette. It is, let me see if I can give you the name. It's the Winter Wonderglam Luxe Eye Palette. Let's start that again. Rewind. The Winter Wonderglam Luxe Eye Palette. I felt like I was in a, rewind vato moment from Selena there. Anyways, if you love that movie, you know that reference. Anyways, a whole lot of shades in here to include their glitters suspended in that gel formula that eliminates the need for glitter glue. There's a whole lot of metallics and a few mattes in here, so we're going to go through that. This is $58 on the Sephora website, and it also comes with a Lights Camera Lashes mascara. It comes with the eyeliner, and it comes with a double-ended brush, which I have found to be pretty good, pretty decent. Next up, we've got a limited edition Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Finger Foil Face Quad. Now I'm going to tell you, I don't know if this was specific to Holiday 2019, just seems like kind of ironic that, you know, it released at this time and it wouldn't be, but who knows. It is part of the Rainforest of the Sea lineup. It is limited edition. It comes like this. We'll go into all of those details, but just so you know, it is a finger foil palette. It is, I want to say, $39. Let me double check that for you real quick. Okay, it's actually $32, and I do want to give you a description of this one because it's not going to be as easy as the other two, you know, it being eyes and face. This one has a little bit of more multi-use. So this is a quad of plush and pigmented full face formulas with 2 eyeshadows, 1 blush, and 1 glitter gel topper that can all be applied with your fingers. So I would have totally forgot to tell you that this is like a dual, you know, you can pull double duty with this, and so that is that. So again, 2 shadows, 1 blush, but I have used it also as an eyeshadow, and then 1 glitter shade. So we'll come back to this. And last up, we have got the set Chrome for the holidays. This was $24. I don't know if I mentioned this was $32. Sorry about that. Chrome for the holidays has 4 of their chrome kind of paint pot eyeshadows type thing. 2 are new, 2 are existing. You get Frosé Wild at Heart, Pink Diamonds, and Citrine. And just so that you know, the shades, let's see, Citrine and Pink Diamonds are exclusive to this set, so you cannot find them in the regular full size. So we've got a lot to go through here. I'm going to go through real quick, give you a few swatches so that you have an idea of what they look like. Then we'll move into the demo, and then I'll take you into my final thoughts. So let's start with the stacks real quick. I am sure you've seen this before, but just so that you know, it opens on the top and then swivels out just like that. So it's really convenient, very, I think, convenient for travel. So that is kind of nice, and you've got 2 blushes and 1 highlight in each stack. So here is the gold stack, and that's what those look like right there. Let me move you on to the rose gold stack real quick. This is the rose gold stack. And then here is the Gunmetal Stack. Obviously this highlighter is way too deep for my skin tone, so that would be better suited for an eyeshadow on me. And so I'm going to swatch them down here on the darker part of my arm just so that you can see how they show through on not such fair skin. I feel like the back of my hand is a little fairer than my arm. So just so that you have an idea of how those show up there so that you can see the variety. Okay, that takes care of the stacks. Let's move into this finger foil eyeshadow palette. So let me wipe down my arm real quick. So like I said, this finger foil palette kind of pulls double duty. I primarily bought it for my eyes. I didn't really buy it for, I'm not much of a cream cheek product type person, but they are very, very metallic. And again, there is one glitter. This glitter feels like sand to the touch. It's like no product I've ever felt before. It literally feels like sand. When you're at the beach and you've got the sand in your hand, that's exactly what it feels like. So again, very, very metallic and soft to the touch. So there we go. Get you more of that glitter. Glitters are harder to swatch, I find. So I do want to be able to let that show through for you. Now, I am going to use, I'm not going to give you swatches of all four of these. I am going to use Wild at Heart on the eyes for the demo, so we'll save that for the demo. I do want to give you the limited edition shades just so that you can see what those look like. And that way, if you already own, you know, these in their full size and are really wanting to pick this up for the limited edition shades, then you know what they look like. The little stoppers are very, very tiny because these little containers are super small. So like I'm having trouble, I have had trouble every time I've taken out those stoppers from in there. Like it's just, I don't know, there's a little handle and everything, but I have struggled. So this one is Citrine. And they're very, very pigmented. They're slightly crumbly, but if you are familiar with this formula, then you probably already know that to be the case. I was not familiar with this formula when I first picked these up. The only one I ever really wanted was Wild at Heart, and I'm actually so glad I held off on it because now it came in this set, and I don't have this massive, you know, pan of product or pot of product that I'm not gonna end up being able to put to use. So that is, what is this? Pink Diamonds. And last but certainly not least is the palette from Sephora. It is a sequin cover. Just so you know, it is not the sequin cover that you can just move and the sequins kind of flip. I know that was the trend here recently with pillows and things like that. These are just kind of stationary. I like that it's thinner than their previous ones. I like unique, so I don't mind if something's a little bit bulkier, but I do like that it's a little bit thinner. And I love like this rose gold trim. I think it's so pretty, so festive. And then you open it up and you've got the entire palette right here with the brush. The liner and the mascara also sit in here. They don't come loose. And then you've got several glitter shades, the kinds that are suspended in that gel formula. You've got several metallic shades. Let me see, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the suspended glitter, you know, suspended gel glitter formula, and then you've got about 5 truly metallic shades, and then the rest is a combination mainly of matte and a couple of shimmers. So let me grab you a couple of these swatches as well so that you can see what they look like. All right, so I really gave you 3 metallics and 1 glitter. Let me rub these on my hand and I will come back in for a matte for you, for my matte girls. Let's see, I'm going to give you, let's go in with this brown. So there we go. That's the matte, then you've got the metallics, and then you've got the glitter. Okay, now it's time to go into the demo. Let's go ahead and put all of this stuff on my eyes and my face. There's enough to go around, and in fact I had to like get a little more creative for my eyes because it's hard to use so many standout things on the eyes. And so hopefully you find it easy to follow, helpful. Let's get into that portion of the video now.
Starting off with one of the chrome paint shadows in the shade Wild at Heart, and using my finger, I'm just going to place this all over my lids. It's going to act as a base, but I'm also going to use it to peek through the shadow at the inner portion of the lid. These shades don't have names, so I'm just going to tell you I'm going in with the Rosy Matte shade and a blending brush, just building this up a couple of times. Going in with the foil paint palette and using my finger, just going in with this rosy shade on the outer portion of the lid, and now with a brush going in with the deeper burgundy shade from the Winter Wonderglam palette. This is a matte, and I'm using this to deepen up the outer portion of the lid. There's not much to choose from on deep shades there. Going in with the pink glitter and my finger. You don't need a glitter glue for this. These are suspended in a gel formula, and just placing this in the middle where those two shades meet just to kind of cover that seam. Going back into the finger foil palette and just that same rosy shade, just adding that back in and back in with the burgundy shade and a pencil brush. I'm just going to add that to my lower lash line just to tie it all in together. And that completes the eyes. Mascara and liner is done. Now we're going to move on to the face. Going into the Gunmetal Stack, I'm going to use the shade Decked Out. It's the middle blush, and this just builds so beautifully and adds the perfect shade to the cheeks. Now I'm going into the Rose Gold palette, and I'm going in with the shade Snow Kissed. It is the highlighter in this stack, and it is perfect. I'm able to use it on my skin tone. Any deeper it would have been too much, but this actually works out just fine on my light to light medium skin tone. And this is the final look.
Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that and found it easy to follow. If you own any of these products, I hope that you found it helpful in the sense that like maybe it sparked some creativity, or maybe it kind of just gave you an idea of what to use your product for. So that being said, let's go ahead and go into mini reviews of each of these products. Let's go ahead and start with the stacks. First off, I think $35 is a really decent price point for these. You do get 9 pans of product, which is I think you got more in the palettes that they've released in prior years, but this also has the difference in packaging to where you don't have to pack a whole palette. You can pack one little stack and you're good to go. I will tell you that the packaging isn't super heavy duty. It's more plastic than it is, like it's not metal, it's plastic. And so I feel like it could break if you're being a little bit rough with it. Aside from that, I think it's super creative. I love the idea. I love that they kind of ventured out from the palette. I wouldn't mind if they went back to that next year, but I like that they did something different this year. And so each one, like I said, has a highlighter and 2 blushes. I think that's awesome. The only thing missing is really a bronzer, but honestly, you can supplement that separately. I'd rather have more options for blush than have a highlighter, a blush, and a bronzer. So I love the quality for these. I've always loved the holiday sets from Tarte when it comes to their blush palettes. I find that they blend easy, they build nicely, they just go on really, really nicely. Now I will tell you, yes, I am a light to light medium skin tone, and so typically the Tarte shades work for me. I have found that year over year there is more geared towards your lighter and fair skin tones than there is towards your deeper skin tones. So I would find my deeper skin tone ladies to struggle a little bit more with this set. However, I will tell you that, for example, the highlighter in this is way too deep for me. I would never be able to pull that off, and I will only ever be able to use it as a highlighter. I also think the blushes in here would work nicely for deeper skin tones. I just don't know how deep of a skin tone. I went in with a couple of layers and it built beautifully. You can go in with a heavier hand, but be mindful of that. And I do think the blushes in the other stacks are going to be a little too light for my deeper skin tone ladies. The highlighter in the Rose Gold set I also think is going to suit my deeper skin tone ladies very, very nicely. I was able to pull it off, but if this was any smidge deeper, I wouldn't be able to. So basically, I'm on the tail end of being able to use this, and that tells me that my deeper skin tone ladies would be able to use that as well. So all in all, I'm happy with the purchase. I love it. I think it's, again, different, but still getting my fix of my blush products, my blush variety. So let's move on to the finger foil eyeshadow palette. So here's the thing. First off, packaging. I'm a sucker for packaging, and this is a whole dud for me. There's no lettering, there's no anything. Like, you wouldn't even know what it is. And so it's just kind of like not even average on the packaging, it's just kind of boring on the packaging. Now, as far as the products themselves, they are crazy metallic. They swatch so beautifully. They're so shiny. They're very, very soft. And my favorite of all of them is this grainy glitter, whatever it is, this grainy glitter, the sandy glitter. It doesn't feel grainy or uncomfortable once you put it on the eye. And quite frankly, it lasts on my eye all day without glitter glue. So it just is really pretty. It's like a brown bronze with some red flecks in there. It's very, very pretty, and you can tell from a distance that you're wearing glitter on the eye. Now, as far as the other shades, they look beautiful when you first put them on. I have tried them every which way, without primer, with different types of primer, and I've struggled keeping them on my eyelid, and that's usually never an issue for me. Typically, my eyeshadow lasts from morning until evening. Now, granted, it may not be as fresh as in the morning, but still, it looks pretty darn good. With these, like, I can see the lines. I don't have oily lids. I can see the lines, like it's faded and patchy in some areas, so I don't know if there's just a trick to using these, like there is a certain primer that you have to use to lock it in. I haven't figured that out yet, but I haven't lost all hope just because they're so, so pretty. So I'm going to give it a couple more tries, but know that, you know, as far as longevity, it's just not there. Had they been super long wearing, then I would say the $32 price point is amazing and you need to run out and get this, but not so much. Okay, next up, the Chrome for the Holidays. I love this set so much, because I have found that using these, I can either use it as an eyeshadow, like all over the lid, or I can use it as a base, and it holds on to my eyeshadow. And like I used it in the demo, I can put it all over my lid, kind of as a base, because that's what I used it for today. But then you let some peek through as part of your eyeshadow look. I love these. I think these are awesome. I love the variety of shades that they put in here. I love that they used Wild at Heart, because again, I had really been wanting that one. And so for $24, I think it's a really good price point. A lot of people will say they're very tiny and you can hardly get your finger in. And if you've got really long nails, then you're going to have issues getting your finger in here. They are small. It is a drawback that the little stopper, it's hard to take out. Like, it slips, it flips over. Anyways, I have had trouble with that. However, given the size, I still probably won't go through a whole one of these, just given the number, you know, of things that we like to use. Obviously, if you're a makeup collector, you collect a lot of makeup and you just don't use the same things over and over. You know what I mean? And so this, I don't think I'll ever go through, much less a full size. So I think $24 is a very decent price point for this, and I would venture saying this is my favorite piece out of all of these items. Lastly is the eyeshadow palette. So for $58, you do get quite a bit. Tarte has been very lackluster for me in the past when it comes to holiday releases as far as their eyeshadows. And honestly, I passed on last year's. I think I passed on the year before's. I bought them, but then I just ended up really disliking them, so I returned them. With this, I had set in my mind that I wasn't going to buy it, so quite frankly, I passed on it during the Rouge preview event, and time went by, and I still just kind of, well, anyways, but the more I saw that, like, it had these glitter shades in this suspended gel formula, I was more and more intrigued. Well, then when we went to Disney World and we went to Disney Springs, and I swatched it, and I was like, I think I need to have this because of the metallics and the glitters, and I'm actually very happy with my decision. There is, as far as the mattes go, there's not much to work with, and even though there's a variety, most of them are very, very light. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like, I don't know if they were thinking it would be a setting. I don't know what that thought process was, but as far as the mattes, they're a true miss. There's really only a couple, well, you've got the black and the blue. I just don't even touch those very much, but to me, there's only a couple that you can really use to deepen up your look, for your outer lid, that kind of thing. So I primarily use this for the metallics and the glitters. Those for me are very stand out for a Tarte Halloween palette. No, Tarte Holiday palette. So they really do perform way better than any other Tarte Holiday palette that I have come across. And for me, the purchase was worth it for the metallic and glitter shades. If you are in the market for those types of shades, if you love those types of shades, I would say this is totally up your alley. If you're really only into mattes and you just like the occasional standout shade for glitter or metallic, this is not for you. It doesn't have what you're gonna want for creating a look just primarily with matte shades. So definitely a party palette because of the glitters, the metallics, but don't pick it up if you are not into that kind of thing. As far as the sequins, I don't know how long they're gonna last on here because there's a few already hanging off, and I don't know, like I see a little string that's loose, but I think the idea is really, really pretty. It reminds me like of a clutch that you would take to a party, and I'm very, very happy with this purchase. So all in all, I'm really excited that I picked up these products. The only one that I don't know yet is this one. As of right now, it's beautiful in the way it looks, in the way it swatches, in the way it first goes on, but the longevity just is really disappointing, and I don't know that I want to pay $32 just for this one glitter shade. So we'll see. This kind of, right now it's a disappointment, but maybe after a couple more tries I'll find out what the real secret is to keeping it locked and loaded on my eyelids. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful, easy to follow, just, you know, I hope it helped you make a decision in what's right for you regarding Tarte Holiday 2019. I hope that you'll consider subscribing if you are new to my channel, because I certainly would love to have you as part of this YouTube family, talking more holiday makeup and more to come, you know, into the holiday season, things like that. Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it enjoyable, beneficial, whatever the case may be. It really does help me out, and it helps me know that you do like and enjoy these types of videos. Before I let you go, I want to give you a very quick verse of the day, only in an effort to encourage you, to tell you that I love you and that Jesus loves you so very much. It comes from 2 Timothy 1:12, and it says, "I am not ashamed, because I know whom I have believed, and I am convinced that he is able to guard what I have entrusted to him for that day." I love that verse so, so very much. And if you are a believer in Christ, it is my encouragement to you that you not be ashamed, that in this chaotic and ridiculous world that we live in, that you would not be ashamed, that you would just be encouraged to tell others how much Jesus loves them. In a world that's just so needing that, it's my prayer that you would feel encouraged to do that. And if you don't already know Jesus as your Lord and Savior, it is my prayer that you would come to know him as your very, very best friend. I can tell you just from experience how amazing he has been, just in my deepest, darkest places. I can't even tell you. I'm just a testament to that. So I hope you enjoyed again, and I will see you in the very next video. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.